Guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, a bombshell today has dropped in the welterweight division. WBO welterweight king Terence "Bud" Crawford has been ordered by the WBO to fight Showtime Shawn Porter. If they cannot reach a deal in 30 days, it goes to purse bids. If Terence Crawford does not want to fight Shawn Porter, he will be stripped of his WBO world title. Terence Crawford has got so much stick over the last couple of years. His opponents, people criticizing him. He's fought nobody, this, that, and the other. The WBO has enforced a mandatory challenger, which they should have done, which they did, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or did they? I'm not sure. We were hearing that Crawford may fight Porter before, but then it fell through. But now, the WBO have said enough is enough. Terence Crawford has to fight Showtime Shawn Porter. And this news has dropped as a bombshell. And an excitement, happiness for the boxing fans, for Terence Crawford fans, for all boxing fans, neutral boxing fans, because this is the fight we want to see. These are the type of fights we want to see Terence Crawford involved in. The ball is now in Terence Crawford's court. The ball is in Bob Arum's court. If they can't reach a deal, then the fight goes to purse bids, where anyone can bid for the fight. So if Terence Crawford wants to keep his WBO belt, he has to fight Shawn Porter next. This is brilliant news. There's no way Terence Crawford is going to vacate. I think the WBO just said enough's enough. You know, we need this guy to fight a top welterweight. And they've just thought, you know what, make him mandatory, give him 30 days to reach a deal. If they can't reach a deal, then let it go to purse bids. And it may well be for Crawford, if Bob Arum's not willing to put up the money, it may well be that the fight goes to purse bids and DAZN or Thriller or one of them pick it up, or PBC even. Because I'm pretty sure Shawn Porter is a PBC fighter, so maybe they might pick it up. But the great news is that Terence Crawford will be the winner out of this, because he won't necessarily be fighting on ESPN. He could well be fighting on Thriller next. He could well be fighting on PBC. And we already know that his contract is coming to an end with Top Rank. So Top Rank, what they might do is that they may put in an offer, of course, but with the fact that there will be somebody else that will come in and put in a bigger bid, and then Bob Arum and Top Rank will get a cut like they did with Lopez. That's what I believe may happen. But this is the best thing that could have happened to Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford wins financially. I think Terence Crawford wins from a profile point of view. I think Terence Crawford wins from a reputation point of view. I think he's basically, this news is helping Terence Crawford. This news will show us basically what the WBO have done. They put Terence Crawford in a corner. I have all along backed Terence Crawford that he wants to fight the best. Terence Crawford has his haters that say he's ducking. He doesn't want to fight anyone. But now the truth will be revealed. Because if he vacates his WBO belt, which I don't believe he'll do, then we know all along he has no intention of fighting the best. If he doesn't vacate, and he does go ahead with the fight, then we know Terence Crawford all along wanted to fight the best. Basically, in about 30 days, the truth will be told. Because Terence Crawford can't get out of this now unless he vacates his WBO belt. Which boxing fans will never forgive him if he does that. So he kind of has no choice but to fight Shawn Porter. And I don't really think he's worried about fighting Shawn Porter. I think he'll fight Shawn Porter in a heartbeat. This is why I think this is great news. It's great news for everyone. Terence Crawford is winning. He's winning because he's going to get a massive payday. If ESPN and Top Rank can't reach a deal with Shawn Porter, right? And by the way, it also comes down to whether Shawn Porter wants to fight. Because it's not just Terence Crawford, it's whether Shawn Porter wants to fight. And I believe Shawn Porter does want the fight. So if Shawn Porter's happy with the fight, Terence Crawford wants to fight. If Top Rank can't reach a deal with Shawn Porter, they can't agree purses, then the fight's going to go to purse bid. And in at that stage, any broadcaster can come in and bid for it. And believe you me, there's going to be a lot of broadcasters bidding for that fight. 100% DAZN's going to be going in. Thriller's going to be going in. PBC, Fox, they'll be going in. There'll be a lot of people going for that. ESPN will obviously put in an offer. But when you've seen of late, with the offers that ESPN have put in, it's unlikely. And the fact that Terence Crawford is reportedly going to leave Top Rank, and Terence Crawford isn't a big pay-per-view star and he doesn't do huge numbers, that might also be another reason why ESPN don't go crazy or Top Rank don't put in a huge bid for that particular fight. But who cares what broadcaster it lands on? Who cares where they fight on? At the end of the day, we're gonna get Terence Crawford to fight one of the best, or when I say one of the best, like he's a top welterweight. I don't want to say one of the best because I don't believe Shawn Porter is one of the best. I believe he's one of the top welterweights. And wow, this is great. This is great stuff. This is brilliant for the welterweight division, guys. Brilliant stuff. This is what we need. This is what the welterweight division needs. We need these competitive matchups. Now, let's talk about the fight and let me break down the fight for you guys. I think it's a great fight. And I'm going to be straight out there. And I know a lot of you guys think that I'm going to be crazy. Terence Crawford has been craving a fight like this for a very long time. He's been craving a fight like this where he can gain respect. He can gain recognition. I'm going to put it out there that I believe, and I know some of you won't agree with this, Terence Crawford will stop Shawn Porter. And I'll give you my reason why. Shawn Porter has had a great career. He's been in a lot of tough fights. He's been in a lot of war. I believe Shawn Porter's kind of coming, even though Shawn Porter's still a top fighter, I believe Shawn Porter's coming now to the back end of his career. He's been in a lot of wars. A lot of wars. The Kell Brook fight was tough. The Thurman fight was tough. The Danny Garcia fight was tough. The Errol Spence fight was tough. Julio Diaz, when he drew with Julio, that was tough. Shawn Porter isn't a big puncher. Every fight, he goes the distance. He takes a lot of shots. He hasn't got the greatest defense. He rushes, he rushes opponents, and sometimes his defense isn't the greatest. He's got a good chin. However, a lot of people seem to think that Terence Crawford, a lot of people are saying this online, that Terence Crawford stops Shawn Porter. I'll tell you why I think he will. Because I think Terence Crawford's a lot faster than anybody Shawn Porter's been in the ring with. A lot faster. And one thing I've noticed about Shawn Porter, he gets put down by punches he doesn't see coming. The Broner fight, the Spence fight, and he's got a very good chin. I believe Terence Crawford will catch him with something that he doesn't see. I think Terence Crawford's really fast. His hand speed is crazy. And I feel that the stage that Shawn Porter is at his career, I don't know how many more times he can go to the well. If Crawford doesn't knock him out, I do see a wide Crawford decision. But if the old Shawn Porter turns up, and I say old because he of late, Shawn Porter has shown that he's still good. He's at the top of his game. I just think that in this fight, styles make fights, and I think Crawford's style is all wrong for Shawn Porter. I just think Crawford's strong. Forget the fact that he's not strong. I think he's just very smart. He's very fast. He picks his shots. Some people think Shawn Porter's aggressive, come forward style will give Crawford a lot of trouble. I think it's the opposite. I think Crawford will counter punch him and catch him with shots that he doesn't see coming. Catch him with a lot of body shots. Catch him with a lot of shots, head shots. And I think Crawford will gradually wear Porter down. And that might sound crazy, but that's what I think is going to happen in this fight. I just think Crawford's not really had a lot of tough fights. He's quite fresh. On the other hand, Shawn Porter has been in a lot of tough fights. He's been in a lot of wars, wear and tear, camps. I think Shawn Porter, for me, is on the other side of his career where Crawford's in his prime. And stylistically, I think this may be the most intelligent fighter that Porter may be in the ring with. And I think what people don't give Crawford credit for, I think Crawford's a lot more physically strong and a very strong dude. He used to do wrestling when he was, or MMA when he was younger. And a lot of people think they can go in there and bully Crawford because he has a slim, lean type of physique. He's not the biggest guy in the world. But when they get in there, they realize he's a lot stronger than what he is. He's a lot stronger than what he is. And I think Porter may realize that when he gets in the ring. A lot of people seem to think that Porter could bully Terence Crawford. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. A lot of people thought they could bully Terence Crawford. It's the way Terence Crawford looks. Slim line. He's quite skinny type physique. He doesn't look the biggest. But he's a lot stronger than what he looks. He's a lot stronger than what his body and his physique show. And I just think stylistically, I think at the stage of the career that Porter's in, at the stage of his career that Porter's at now, I think Terence Crawford, man. Terence Crawford will, I think you could pick Porter apart. And I won't be surprised if Terence Crawford knocks out Shawn Porter. Terence Crawford has been showing a lot of power at welterweight. I know people say the resume, you know, he hasn't. I think he's got power. I think he's got power. And I think most importantly, what people underestimate, it's not necessarily raw power all the time. It's about the shots that you don't see coming. Crawford hits you with a lot of shots that you don't see coming because he's very fast. Like I said, Terence Crawford would be the fastest guy that Porter has been in with. By far as well. Hand speed wise, he'd be the fastest guy. You know, the other one you could probably say was Broner. But Broner doesn't throw a lot of punches. Crawford does. This is by far the quickest and most intelligent. And yeah, I think this is a very, very tough fight. Spence was a good fight. He gave Spence a good fight. But Spence kind of fought Porter at his own game. Crawford will look to box and try picking him apart. This is for me it's a great fight though. It's a great fight. You know, I can see Porter putting on a lot of pressure. I can see Porter trying to make it difficult. I don't think he's going to try box with Terence Crawford. I think he knows that his best chance would be to rush him and make it a tough night's work. But I just think Crawford's too smart for that. I think Crawford's too smart for that. And I think Crawford will pick his shots. And I think he'll either stop him late or he'll win a wide points decision. That's my opinion. And I think Terence Crawford, nobody's managed to beat Shawn Porter well. Nobody's managed to beat Shawn Porter well. I think that will be the driving factor for for Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford always likes to do things to opponents that people think that he can't do. So Shawn Porter's never been beat comfortably. That's going to be Terence Crawford's driving factor, that I want to separate myself from him. I thought Spence would, but Spence couldn't. I believe Terence Crawford will be driven by the fact that no one's beating him well. I want to go in there and be beating on him. That's what Terence Crawford's going to want to do. But leave your thoughts, guys. Great fight. Great fight. What do you make of it? Who do you think wins? Do you think the fight happens? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.